Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Grace Lauren Taylor, and you are listening to episode 79 of the Trauma Dump Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Here at the Trauma Dump Podcast, we seek to answer the question, what is mental health? How do I take care of my own, and how do I support others? And today, we're going to be doing an anonymous Discord confessions episode. We have a channel on our Discord server that talks about anonymous confessions, and I'm going to be reading them, just me. Next week, we're going to have guests, but this week it's just me and also my animals. Come here, Loki. Loki, come here. Come here. You guys want to see Loki? He's my cat. It's actually my husband's cat. Ooh, sorry. But he's mine all the same, I think. Here's the loafkin. What do you have to say for yourself? He has no words. But for the anonymous confessions, if you have never tuned into the Discord before, the channel is completely anonymous. You just write in there and no one can actually see, not even me can see who wrote their confessions. Yeah, it was 97. So that means that we're starting off with confession 98. Okay, so I am going to share my screen with you guys so that you can see confession 98. Boop. Hello. Okay, and let's get on into it, shall we? And if you guys haven't already, please join our Discord server because it's fun and you'll like it, I promise. So let's do this. Boop. Anonymous Confession 98. I've come to the realization that at 39, I'm unlikely to find another girlfriend, especially one that understands and accepts my limitations. And with the way people treat each other these days, and my own experience with my ex along those same lines, I'm not sure if I want to even bother anymore. What little I can provide in a relationship, moral support, and being a loving partner just isn't enough for people anymore. In every relationship I've been in through my adult life, I've given my all and I've ended up with nothing. This last time, I ended up with even less than I had before, while everyone else benefited from what I risked to be with her. I'm the only one in the whole arrangement that lost anything, and I lost so badly that I don't even have my own place anymore. It's so damn hard for people like me to find anyone in the first place, but the way society is now just makes it impossible. People are too intolerant, too judgmental, and too ignorant. And me, I'm just tired of it all. What the hell happened to the concept of agreeing to disagree? This tribalism is killing our society, our relationships, everything. Tribalism destroyed my last relationship. I don't have enough energy or heart left to deal with the next thing that makes someone leave me. I know that's what would happen because that's always how it happens. I'm enough for them until I'm not. 98, I'm really sorry that you're going through that. I know that was in December, which is a while ago since it's now June. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride. Um, as far as it is on you, whenever you're in a relationship and it doesn't work out, yes, it's okay for you to take some of the blame, but relationships are usually between two people. Okay, so you can't be the only one to blame, and they can't be the only one to blame either. And to say that you are the only one that lost anything is not correct ever, because in the end of a relationship, they lost you too. I know that when we get out of relationships, especially if we build off a lot of our, foundations of how we perceive ourselves, We build it off of our relationships with others, whether that be romantic or not. If we do that, if we build our entire personality, our worth, our mindset around our value to other people, once those people are not in our lives, we feel like we have no value. And I'm preaching to the choir here because that's me. My whole life, I really based my value on the people around me. And sadly, people will come in and out of our lives for a season. We don't know how long that season is. We don't know how short that season is, but it is for a season. If you've ever watched things online where it'll show you, your lifeline and then your dog's lifeline and how they overlap for just this period of time, and then your lifeline continues and the dog's lifeline ends, or say with a romantic relationship that doesn't work out, your lifelines were on separate planes and then they were together and then they drifted apart and they just kept going. In every ending, there is beauty. And I truly believe that. In every ending, we learn something. Now, what we do with what we learned is important. You're 39 years old. I hope that you're still alive today. And if you still are, hi. I want you to know that your life didn't end because someone decided not to love you anymore. It didn't. It continued. I know it continued because you messaged us. Having a relationship end is hard, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm saying this as someone who just got married. You can't base your life and the different milestones off of everybody else because that's genuinely not the way it works. You have different milestones in your life that are significant to only you. And just because this relationship ended doesn't mean you don't have the potential for another one in the future. I think what would really help you the most is having hope, is having empathy for yourself and having compassion for other people as well. There's going to be someone who sees something in you that they like. It's the truth. And there's going to be people that see something that they don't like in you. That's the truth. It's your choice and your job to decide whether you focus on the good, the positive, or you fixate on the negative. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity. I'm talking about what are the characteristics in me that I appreciate, and what are the characteristics in other people that I appreciate, and how can I improve myself? Because that's a continual struggle. For the rest of your life, you're going to be wondering, how can I improve myself? And for me, at least, it's a worthy task. Currently, I'm on a health journey. Okay. I have been going to the gym at least 2 days a week, usually more, but I capped it at, at least 2 days a week to keep myself accountable because, life gets in the way sometimes. And I go to the gym, usually with my friend Kayla, and she trains me, and I'm working on my strength and mobility. I'm working on building some muscle, right? And those are little steps that I'm doing to improve myself. And I think it's worthwhile. Do I see progress in the mirror yet? Nay, nay. But am I still going? Of course, because I feel that progress right now. I feel stronger. I feel healthier. I can run for 5 minutes straight. I know for some people that's like whatever, but I can run for 5 minutes straight. Progress isn't just huge steps in a direction that you want. It's those little steps forward, those little steps back, those incremental movements that bring you further towards your goal. And if your goal is getting into a relationship, some steps that you can take is starting to improve yourself, especially your mindset around you, because you attract whatever you're manifesting. If you're manifesting for yourself that I'm unworthy of love, that I'm a burden, that no one is going to like me, you're going to attract people that are going to use you because they see you as someone who doesn't have value within themselves, that inherent value. You have value just by existing. Wild concept, but it's true. Your life has value. If someone was to come up and kill you on the street, they would be prosecuted for your murder. It might take a while if you're in the US, but they would be prosecuted because why? Your life has value. We're going to move on to the next Discord confession. This is confession 99. I'm honestly so done with my life. All I just did was make sure I could get my phone back from my brother so he wouldn't look at my apps and everything because that's my privacy. And I have so much anxiety if I give my phone to people. I honestly have no idea how or why I pulled him back just to take my phone back from him. I want to be a good person, but I just don't know how to be or what not. I'm sick and tired of my anxiety and everything and the way I feel like it's in control of my actions and such. I'm just done with it all, but I don't know how to fix myself or whatever. I'm so fucking tired at this point in my life and everything makes it fucking worse. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that anxiety of wanting to be a better person. It is a feat unto itself. Um, we're gonna do a mochi cam. You're gonna look into the mochi. Mochi look up. See mochi cam. That was a quick mochi cam, mochi sponsored moment. Um, I remember when I was in high school and I just felt like shit. Literally, that's how I felt. Every day I woke up, I felt like garbage. I felt like I am garbage. Nobody loves me. I would lash out at my brothers. I would lash out at my mom. I would lash out at my dad. I would lash out at people that deserved it and people that didn't because I was so upset with myself. And all I could do was fixate on how upset I was. And then I recognized I'm upset. And I took out my journal and I started to write out all the things that made me upset. And after I did that for a while, I looked down at my journal at the things that made me upset. And just like you were saying, what are the things I can control? What are the things I can't control? And some of the things that I was upset were homework, it's just in my control. Some of the things that I was upset about was how messy my room was, which is in my control. Some of the things that I was upset was like how long my hair was. So I chopped it, right? There are things that upset you that are within your control. And then there are things like other people that upset you that are not within your control. But when you lash out at others, that is within your control. When you contribute to a toxic environment, which the meaning of toxic is unlivable, okay? It's hurting both you and the other person, okay? I'm not saying that you're toxic, but when you start to contribute to a toxic environment, you are having an impact that is within your control. When it comes to your brother, what you could do to reframe, I know this was a while ago, but there's never too late to apologize. You go, hey, I'm sorry, brother, that I took my phone from you that quickly. I want to set a boundary with you on privacy. My items are my items. And if you want to use my phone, I would prefer and appreciate if you would ask me first and then let that be my decision of whether or not you get it. That's a good reframe that you can use. That's an action that you can take. Or say if someone has pissed you off at school, at work, what have you, let yourself feel that emotion. You're allowed to feel that anger. Take it in on yourself, feel that. And then once it's passed, go up to that person and have a conversation with them on why you felt the way that you did. You don't have to ask them to apologize. You don't have to ask anything. Just tell them what's going on. For me, whenever I was able to accurately tell another person how I was feeling and why I was feeling that particular way, then I was able to move forward. It's all about taking those little steps that you can control and making your world a safer place for you to inhabit. Okay? That's my advice. Let's keep it pushing. This is Anonymous Confession 100. This is crazy that we've had over 100 confessions. Thanks, guys. I feel so lost, like I'm in a void with just nothing other than my mind and body. Every day gets so tired of fighting my self-harm urges when I only have three things keeping me going. My friends don't seem to care that I could never wake up again. My religious trauma from middle school is also getting bad again, and I'm scared. My parents and people around me see me as lazy and apathetic, but I'm just trying to stay alive because of three things: music, Claude Beauty, and one really close friend. I don't know what to do anymore, but I know that I need to stay alive. But I don't want to feel like I'm in a war that's killing me slowly and I can't stop it or win. My depression and SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, kill me, but all I get from my friends is, oh, well, I hope you feel better soon. I'm so fucking done. I always seem to hurt people I'm close to because of some shitty ass friends in eighth grade. They made me feel like a monster and a villain, but that doesn't God say that we should, but doesn't God say that we shouldn't have second chances? My middle school was Catholic school, but all I got were death threats and hatred and a look that makes me seem like the villain. I'm so tired of fighting this war, but I know I have to continue, but I don't know how. As an autistic person, I hate feeling the world in only right and wrong. I feel guilty about masturbating because of what happened to me in middle school, and I just want to scream and cry. I'm sorry that you're dealing with, or you were dealing with seasonal affective disorder in December, and I'm sorry that you're really frustrated with life. I have bipolar disorder, and I just got married. And my psychiatrist told me that during my wedding, I was feeling an intense high accurately because, it was one of the best days of my life. I was surrounded by people that loved me. Literally nothing went wrong in my wedding, which everyone tells you that something's going to go wrong. Nothing really went wrong. Like it was a beautiful, beautiful day surrounded by beautiful people that loved me and loved my husband. And these past few weeks, I've been going through a pretty significant depression. I have. And I told my coven, my best friends, and I told them, hey, I have bipolar disorder. I've diagnosed bipolar disorder, and I'm experiencing depression right now. And a lot of people don't know what they can do. And it's not really up to them on how to support you, especially if you don't tell them how you need to be supported. And I know from experience, when we feel depressed, we don't know how we can be supported in the moment either. And so it kind of creates this cycle of I need help, but I don't know how to get help. And so I'm just going to isolate myself and feel even more angry that I need help, but I don't know how to get help. Someone please rescue me, right? But the only person that can really rescue you is yourself. And I know that's so hard to hear, but it's the truth. It is the truth. The only person that can rescue you is yourself. You can't get rescued by Catelyn. You can't get rescued by your friends. Okay. You can't get rescued by your parents. You have to be the person that helps you. And then you also have to be the person that lets other people know how they can help you. So for me, with this depression period that I'm going through, which I know it's a season, it's a period. It's not going to go on forever because I've been to the other side. I've dealt with my bipolar disorder for a very long time. I know it's just a season. So I have to tell myself it's just a season and I'm allowed to feel the way that I'm feeling. Okay. I am not wrong for what I'm feeling, but I may be wrong for the way that I'm treating others. And I recognize within myself that whenever I am in a depression period, I think the worst of people, including my friends, and they don't deserve it. My brain triggers me and I start to think of how other people in the past have hurt me. And then I put that on my friends. And I did it recently. And I'm ashamed to admit it, but I want to get rid of that shame and guilt. And a big part of that is confessing and talking. I'm not talking about religious, but having myself held accountable, not only to myself, but to others. And I had a couple people in my past that just ghost me out of nowhere, that just block me out of nowhere. And that's a really big traumatic thing for me because there is no reason why. I could never find a reason. Usually it's that they don't want to be held accountable by me anymore, which is fine. And so they just block me. And one of my best friends decided to delete their social media and they didn't tell me. And in the past, I had found out that one of my supposed friends blocked me through social media because she blocked me on social media. And so it just shows, Instagram user rather than who it is. And my friend deactivated their account. So I thought I had been blocked. And instead of going to that friend and asking, hey, have you blocked me? I went in on myself. I cried for 2 days straight. I was so depressed. I was so sad because I thought I lost another friend. Only for that friend to text me and be like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a bit. Are you okay? I miss you. And for me to confront that friend and be like, I thought you blocked me. And my friend to be like, I didn't block you. I deleted my Instagram because I think like social media is toxic for me right now. All of that could have been avoided, right? If we communicated better. And I'm not calling out this person and I'm not calling out myself. It's a we thing, right? If you are feeling down, you have to tell people. You have to tell them. And if you don't know how you can be supported, you got to take time to look into what are the different ways people can support you during these times. Google it. It's a real thing. For me, whenever I'm feeling really upset, I isolate myself. And because I feel like I don't deserve connection, I don't deserve love. And so I've told my friends, hey, I am feeling depressed. I need a couple days to isolate myself, but don't let me take more than a couple days. I need you guys to actively seek me out and get me out of this hole. Because I allow myself to feel my feelings. And then when that feeling has naturally passed, if you continue to sit in it, you're just going to cause more problems for yourself. So I tell myself and I tell my friends, get me out of this hole. Show up at my house. I tell my friends all the time, whenever they're upset, they can come to my house. Call me in advance, text me I'm on the way. They can come to my house. My house is a safe space. They can always show up here. I don't care what time of night, day, when it is, they can come here. Make yourself available for other people and they will make themselves available for you. That's what I have to say for you. Confession 100. So we're going to move on to Anonymous Confession 101. Life update since I've been kind of busy lately. I had 3 therapy sessions, yes, 3 of them, this week from Wednesday through today. Today, I told my therapist about how I felt stuck in autopilot mode every day. I told her about my anxiety and depression and the voices I've had in my head since my stepmom's arrest back in April of 2020. And she said that these voices are system related, but not specifically DID. I told her that I didn't even realize that I had a flashback of my bio mom yesterday until I broke down in tears at lunch. That's just yet another mental health thing that I've added to my list. I just want to be okay again. Is that all too much to ask? No, it's not too much to ask. But think about what traumatized you, what got you to this point. And that was a lot, right? So, equally, for you to get back to homeostasis, to get back to yourself again, you have to do a lot of work to get through that trauma. I'm really proud of you for going to therapy. Truly, that is awesome. Thank you for putting yourself first in that regard. I'm sure that your therapist will make an action plan for you of what to do. But just as if whenever my dad died and I became homeless and a bunch of other horrible things happened to me, that was all in 2020. It's now 2025. I am just now starting to reach the top of that hill of my healing. But healing is not linear, okay? There will be some days where I feel so much more healed than others. And there will also be days where I feel like I'm right back in it. The day my dad died, sobbing. But those don't last forever. For me, that grief comes and goes in waves, but those waves are not as big as the wave before, and the wave before that, and the wave before that. It's still there. That pain, that loss, it's still there, but it's not as crippling. It's not as debilitating. I can still move about my day, whereas a couple years ago, I couldn't. And if I also think about it in the context of my business, I make jewelry for a living. They're called Gracelettes. This choker that I'm wearing is a Gracelettes rose quartz. These rose quartz Gracelettes I made for myself. I always wear rose quartz whenever I'm feeling depressed or down on myself because I need to remind myself that I'm loved. I'm wearing a rose quartz ring. Hee hee. Whenever I'm sad, I wear it to remind myself that I am worth love, that I am worth taking care of, that I need to put myself first. I need to take care of myself. I need to show myself compassion and consideration. With my business, I look back on pictures of when I first started doing markets and how much I've improved, not only in my booth over time, but my craft, how I make the jewelry, how much more intricate it is. And I look at that progress, especially when I go through a bad market, when the market didn't go my way, when I didn't get as many customers. I look back and think Grace from 2 years ago would be overjoyed that I even got one customer. Grace from 2 years ago would be overjoyed that someone paid $20 for something that I made, that I spent time on. Grace would be overjoyed. I mean, look over here. Those 3 boxes right there. I'm about to go to a market now. In the time of recording this is Friday. This will be airing on Sunday. I'm about to go to a market on today and tomorrow. All of that stuff is stuff that I built with my own hands or stuff that are holding the things that I built. Looking at that in comparison to the first box that I started off with, I am really proud of myself. You're gonna do great. Take care of yourself. You deserve it, okay? It's gonna be okay. Anonymous Confession 102. My antidepressant medication is getting upped, and if the new dosage doesn't work, I could end up in intensive therapy and a mental health facility. And sometimes that's needed. And I know that's scary, but it's true. Sometimes we need to go to that mental health facility. They exist to help us. I know they're terrifying. I know it feels like you've hit rock bottom, but when you've hit rock bottom, you have two ways to go: straight up and sideways. Okay. I have been hospitalized multiple times, and I'm so glad that I was. I am so glad that I was, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here anymore. And you guys wouldn't be listening to me, you wouldn't be watching me. I'm glad that I was. Because when I hit that rock bottom and I was able to uncover what was going on with me, I was able to recover from it. We need to reframe in our brains of, I'm afraid of going to be institutionalized. What are people going to think of me? To, if I am institutionalized, I will get better. It'll only get better from there. And it's going to be okay. Right? We're going to do Anonymous Confession 103. It says trigger warning for entirety of paragraph. Had to deal with hella homophobia and transphobia during English today. Mental health equals decreasing. My friends were being insensitive about me seeking psych in a few months, saying that I'm going to a mental asylum to get myself higher on the wait list. They suggested I tried offing myself and gave us ways to do it. Life is just shit right now. I'm seeing my dietitian next week, and she called me anorexic 2 years ago. I can't do much anymore. That is horrible. And those people are not your friend. Okay? They're not your friends. If you are ever encountering people that even suggest to you that you'd be better off dead, those are your enemies. Those are not your friends. And I would tell you to avoid them, distance yourself from them, not only for yourself, but for them as well. Their behavior is inappropriate at best and incredibly abusive at worst. I don't know the entire context. They need consequences for their actions. And one of those consequences needs to be a limitation of access to you. If you think of yourself as a temple and you think of the people that you interact with as either temple goers or temple destroyers or just observers, you're going to start to have a more strict, restriction on who you're going to allow in that temple. Who are you going to allow to see those secret passageways? Who are you going to allow to see your heart? Who are you going to allow to have influence on you? Because there can be people that enter your temple that pick it up, that clean it up, that make it look better. There are going to be people that enter it that make it look worse, that shit on it. Those people are not your friends, and you deserve better. Thank you for sharing. We're going to move on. This is Confession 104. Hey, so like my dad's saying shit like how he's going to end up cleaning my room. Note, I have depression and I was intending to clean it last summer but never got motivated to. And saying that I won't be allowed in there until he finishes. It is kind of insane and child abuse in a way, right? Because I'm just crying in the bathroom over the fact that he can't get through his thick skull, that I'm depressed and forgetful and never motivated until it's late at night. No, that's not abuse at all. That's a parent caring for their child. And I know it feels very invalidating, and I know it feels like an attack, but your parent cares about you enough to tell you enough is enough. I need to step in. I need to do what I can to take care of my child. When you live in a depression room, when your room is a mess, a wreck, you said you haven't cleaned it since last summer. It's been a while, babe. Last time you message was in May, and I'm saying this with all the love. You got to clean your room. There can be mold in there. There can be dangerous chemicals that is also making you sicker. It's true, especially if you eat food in your room. Or if you leave, like, say, if you have a towel that you just dried your body off, it's a wet towel, and you throw it on top of a pile of clothes, that can create mold and germs that can make you really, really sick and can cause you to have problems further down the line, especially if you've been breathing that in for a very long time. Your parents saying, enough is enough, I need to clean your room, I'm just going to do it for you. Your parent is doing the best they can. And I mean that with all the sincerity. I was a nanny to 4 boys for 7 years, and I could always tell how upset or depressed they were by the state of their room. That alone, because that was a reflection of what was going up here. If they decided to no longer take care of their room, I knew that they were not taking care of their teeth. I knew that they were not brushing their teeth when I told them to. If they were constantly bringing food up to their room rather than eating at the table with the rest of us, I knew something was going on. Parents know. Your parents' job is to make sure that they take care of you and teach you how to take care of yourself because you deserve it. I think that you need to have a conversation with your father about your boundaries, your personal boundaries, and you need to have a heart to heart with them because I'm sure your dad loves you. I'm sure they do. We're going to continue on. This is Anonymous Confession 105. I think this is the last. Nope, we have two more after this. Yeah, I have two more. It's a really long one. Trigger warning. I never had a real love connection or sex. The only sex I had was giving it away to a trans hooker who I thought if I could just do it, I'd release my virginity status. I was someone who had no self-respect and love for myself. I was somebody that deeply hated myself, so I went for the most desperate attempt to lose it on somebody just to know what it felt like. Mind you, I was bisexual and exploring, and my first time is the worst. I instantly regretted and had the worst post-clarity moment. And since then, I've been in relationships but never had the experience to make love. The worst part of all of this is that I'm somebody that comes from a religious country. So when I missed my chance to live abroad and came back to the country, it didn't occur to me until a person came and to talk about making love. That moment reignited a trauma that I hadn't really processed. I did have partners who accepted me for what I am or knew my story, but I overthink and imagine the worst case scenario for when my secret gets spilled. I could get murked for it. My country and the city I live is filled with people where secrets aren't left unchecked, and the enforcement of purity culture is deathly strong. Yet every single life that walks this earth is humanely disgusting and flawed. Yet they point fingers and fail to empathize with one another. Sorry, I have dyslexia. I'm doing my best. Okay. Thankfully, I do have a circle of friends who are mostly queer, open-minded, and supportive. But sometimes I worry about sharing my info so much. But also, it's like they won't because of the dire consequences of revealing it to somebody and experiencing a domino where something could happen and it happened because they spilled something. I revealed my trauma I caused on myself, on my parents, who, while are religious but deeply imperfect, accepted me for what I am. I guess they are kind of dealing this moment by themselves, and they may know that if they reveal it to other people, it would cause drama. And it gets way fucking worse when I come from a family of status. In my country, status and family image are so important, and it's a fucking headache. Sometimes I wonder if they are worried about the family status more than they are actually worried about me. My only hope is the one true friend I have. And when I come back to work, I want to cry in his arms and tell him I'm scared. And all I want is somebody to hug and tell me that I'm understood and I'll be okay. And maybe I will. I have a beautiful art, open-minded community behind my back, and maybe on the outside they fail to support, but on the inside our bonds remain strong, but who knows? All I know is that I'm dealing with this no therapist, no in-person safe space. And therapy here fucking sucks too, because you can't expose yourself for shit or else you're in deep trouble. I hate a theocratic state, and that makes me hate myself, which I shouldn't. I need help. Some national service to call and keep in touch, any way to process this pain and accept what has happened. The best thing I can take is that love is so important. And through being in the lowest of the fucking lows, I can truly know that the deepest importance of everything, love and vulnerability, but more importantly, love yourself. That is a beautiful sentiment, 105. That is truly amazing. I I'm so proud of you for sharing all of this, and my my heart goes out to you. I don't know where you live because you didn't say, but a theocratic state. It feels like Texas is becoming one. They're trying to introduce bills that will force schools to have the Ten Commandments, which is fucking crazy. Um, if I knew what country you were in, I could probably do some research and find some resources for you. Um, but as far as the resources in America, we have the crisis helpline is 988. You can call or text them at any time, day or night. Um, we also have the crisis, you can get a crisis counselor, the text line, I think it's 741-741. They're available 24/7. But yeah, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration is 988. They're 24-hour, they're free, confidential. They have, I think, resources in English and in Spanish. But please contact either one if you need help immediately. Those are the resources that I have off the top of my head. But I am really proud of you for sharing that. And you're right. Loving yourself is the only way to get through these things, and loving others and showing compassion and understanding, which I think this is, oh, FYI, this is a reply to it. This incident happened 2 years ago. I haven't really thought much about it because I had an open-minded partner who is bi like I am. And I think it was a bad idea to break up. As life moves on, she was the realest person I have, despite how different we are. And I didn't think much about it until I met the other person who she was open about sex and stuff. And then it struck the amount of relationships I'm in. Eventually, I'll be telling people of my past, but also considering the tabooness, it will be treated carefully. I may have symptoms of pure OCD, so this may cause troubling for me trying to learn and deal with the pain, guilt, and suffering. Who knows? If my parents understood the reasons of my circumstances, then I will have people that will have my back. It just sucks that I can't be as open about it to everybody, even in fucking therapy. I'd hear fucking stories of therapists making fun of their clients openly in public. That's how ruthlessly unempathetic my country is, and it scares me. That scares me too. I'm sorry that you deal with that. I wish I knew a way to help you with that, but from my own experience, it takes multiple people speaking out and speaking up to bring down a theocracy. It has to be a wave of people. So if you can, if you feel safe to, start speaking out and speaking up to the people that you feel safe with. This is Anonymous Confession 107. Update, I was Confession 100. I'm starting to lose energy daily because two people close to me have died, and I feel so numb to the point I've stopped caring about anything. My self-harm thoughts are worse, and I'm tired and done of fighting them. I'm 3 weeks clean, but I was previously 4 months clean and want to start again. I feel so isolated and alone. I have autism, so that's the main reason why I can't find people to click with me. I see everyone around me being happy and getting successful, and I have to sit in this brain that's slowly turning against me. I also hypersexuality, don't know if I mentioned it last time. I'm so done with my thoughts betraying me. I have to actively fight my own mind, and it's draining. My friends don't seem to care about me anymore. The only thing keeping me on this broken and cruel world is music. But that light too is slowly fading out. There's a voice saying that I have to fight and get back up. However, when I try that, I always get blamed or judged for being me, like it's my fault. I don't know what to do anymore. And I think this person made this confession today. I know what you can do. Get new friends. And I know that's like, oh, what the fuck, Grace? But no, it's true. And it is true. Find new friends. Find new people that you can relate to. And I know it's hard, but it is possible. All of my friends in my friend group are all neurospicy in one way or another. And I found them because I found them, because I actively went searching for friends. I introduced myself to people in checkout lines and became friends with them. That those people and I are really close friends now. I met them at parks. I met them at the mall. I met them at my markets. And the way that I became friends with them is I kept actively pursuing them. I met them at the gym. You can meet friends, and the way that you keep them is actively pursuing them. Get to know them. Get interested in what they're interested in. Your life is not over, and I'm so grateful that you are here, that you're giving us your confessions. Please take heart. Please have hope. Please do not give up. Your feelings are valid, though. I'm really sorry that you have lost two people that were significant in your life. I am truly sorry, and I know what that's like. Believe me, I know. I lost my dad, both of my grandfathers in the span of a year. I've lost my aunt. I've lost so many people. I don't have the time to talk about it, and I'm not comparing my loss to yours. Feel that loss. Feel that grief. Grieve those people because they meant something to you. You care about them. Grief is just proof that love existed. That's all grief is. It's proof that love existed, and it's love persisting. And that sadness that comes with it is that you can't reach those people anymore. And it's hard. I know it's hard. Find new friends. Reach out to other people. It's summer. Look up what is your hobby. Look up if there are any groups that are doing something related to your hobby. And if there aren't, make a group. Be your strongest advocate. And with that, people that are still watching or listening, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing content from the Trauma Dump podcast. I am so grateful that you all stuck around this long. It really means a lot to me. Please comment down below if you want to be on the podcast or if you have any suggestions, concerns. Remember, you are capable of a fulfilling life in spite of your circumstances and your trauma. May you rise again from the ashes and be filled with peace, hope, love, joy, and understanding. And I will see you guys in the next episode where we will have a guest. All right, take care of yourself. Goodbye.